Welcome back to Weebkend, your hopefully weekly anime podcast. I'm back here with the boys. Angie, say hi.
Sup?
Sam.
What up?
And it's me, the one in the maid dress, Caesar.
Yep.
I
Caesar,
guess-
like the salad.
Caesar, like the emperor.
Like the salad.
Anyway, let's get back into it. This is going to be episode 3, although it's going to be a continuation of episode 2. Our new favorite modern anime.
Yeah, recent, within the last, 5, 6, 7 years at least. We covered a bunch last time, but we all still had a whole bunch more that we wanted to talk about this time, so we're going to continue with that. Caesar, do you want to start?
Sure. Let's jump into something that I know my fellow hosts do not really like, Dr. Stone.
I thought it was okay. I mean, I watched the first 2 seasons, I think.
There's 3 seasons.
Yeah, but I don't know. As soon as they started making a ton of ridiculous shit, that just kind of lost me.
Like what?
Like a fucking tank.
It was made of wood.
Yeah, but it just didn't have the same
Science.
sciencey,
Okay.
grounded kind of appeal that the first season did. The first season felt kind of anime Bill Nye-ish. I mean, so if anyone doesn't know what Dr. Stone is about, it's this weird illness or whatever turns everyone to stone literally for thousands of years. And then this one teenage genius in Japan wakes up and starts trying to rebuild civilization.
Correct. While fighting the world's strongest high schooler. That's the
Which
first arc.
is some grade A anime bullshit. Have you seen it, Angie?
I have not seen it, but you guys talk about it a lot, so I'm going to presume then Caesar's going to say, hey, yeah, you should watch this. What's your thoughts, Sam?
It might be worth a watch. I enjoyed the first season or 2. I just never caught up with the most recent one. It is fairly ridiculous. It does have some sciencey fun, like Bill Nye anime. Yeah, the character designs are fucking weird, so there's that. I don't know. It's a fun show.
The artist behind Dr. Stone is an artist called Boichi, who is actually Korean, so he did a lot of manhwa back in the day. I actually read Sun Can Rock, which was Boichi's manga or manhwa, and the main character looks a lot like Senku, whose name is Boichi. And that whole manga was basically about a martial artist trying to become the top martial artist by fighting off other gangs.
Oh, is that the one that just got made into an anime?
Sun Can Rock? I got it.
No, there was that other one that was last season that was a delinquent kid going to a delinquent school just fighting everybody.
That was...
no, that was Windbreaker.
Windbreaker. Which
Breaking
made
that
no
wind.
sense. Absolutely 0 sense.
Yes, and we have our first recorded fart joke. Yeah, but Dr. Stone I think is worth watching. It's on Crunchy. It has a dub. The dub's all right. One of the characters is super loud and annoying, though. I don't know. You might like it.
It's a good anime if you need something brainless to watch. And you can kind of learn a little bit about science watching it.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. Angie, you want to go next?
Yeah, so one of the series that I've been recently watching, and I watched with my husband, is Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan.
Oh, is that the one where he's a kids show host?
Yes. And
Interesting.
so he's the host of a kids show, and he tends to break character a lot. So, kids are going to be like, oh, why are you sad? And he's just because my life is meaningless. And
Yeah, that sounds funny.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty funny. So I was watching it with my husband. Actually, just started watching it about a couple days ago, maybe about a week ago, and he was like, "This is freaking relatable. This is me." And I was like, "Okay, so I guess this is a show we're going to watch now." But yeah, I mean, again, I'm in my 30s, and the drudgery of everyday work. I can feel that on a spiritual level, but it's overall pretty funny, and it's not just Uramichi. It's everyone in his cast for the show.
All dead inside.
Yeah, sad to say, but yes, they're all dead inside. they all have like their own struggles, and the only thing is, it seems like he's the one who kind of expresses it a lot more than the others. They try to still maintain character and stuff, but yeah, if anyone hasn't watched it, it's a pretty good show.
Is it on Crunchy?
I want to say yes. I believe I saw it either on Crunchy or on Prime.
Okay.
Double check.
Yeah. Does it have like a plot, or is it just slice of life?
For me, it was a slice of life. I believe the original manga though was genre was like it's josei. Pretty sure it's just slice of life though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like some deep hitting meeting of adventure and finding yourself.
Relatable workplace comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fun sometimes too. Not everything needs to be deep.
Okay, so I just confirmed yes, it is Crunchyroll.
Okay. Well, speaking of deep and peak anime, I guess I'll get the big one that I forgot last time out of the way. Chainsaw Man is one of my favorite recent ones. It's so good. Yeah, I know. I can see you shaking your head over there, Caesar.
Bad CGI.
It actually has pretty good CGI.
No, it's bad CGI. CGI is bad.
I was going to say any CGI is bad according to Caesar.
For actual like people that aren't stupid like Caesar.
It looks so
prejudiced. But no, it's actually like the CG is actually pretty good, but like that's like such a small part of it. So everyone has probably heard of Chainsaw Man, maybe even seen some of it. But I started reading it pretty early on, and I was like super hyped for the anime when it got announced. I mean, so was everyone else.
Not me.
But like, so it starts off like your standard dark shonen. Like it's very similar to Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's like they're hunting demons, and this kid becomes like part demon, and now he has to hunt them in order to stay alive because they'll kill him if he doesn't. And the premise is very similar, but Chainsaw Man very quickly goes off the rails with how like just bonkers and batshit crazy it is, which is part of what makes it so fun. And then as the story goes on, the anime has not really gotten to much of this yet. It gets even crazier and cooler and darker and more depressing. So it's just really, really good. Tatsuki Fujimoto, like great mangaka. The art style is really cool, and just his writing is so off the wall. Like he also wrote Fire Punch, which is crazy, but also really good and super fucking dark. Like I had to stop reading it for a while because of how dark it was. But
no, to your point though, Fujimoto-san has a really good artwork. I just even his landscape, you just see the artwork on the landscape and his ink work, and it's just really, really good. What?
I don't like the anime, but I do like all the memes you post and all the panels. They're really good.
Yeah, no, there are so many great meme panels from the
anime.
manga. It's great.
But yeah, I would say that's the other thing. The art is very memeable.
Yeah, it's like it's this great mix of like violent, bloody action, depressing, well-written characters, and then just like bonkers, like stupid toilet humor.
I did read one chapter. The chapter where she jacked off the guy and he came in her hand. I read that because I saw the meme. I had to know what the context was. And there was no context.
Well, I mean, you would have to read more than one chapter to get that context. I will say that the Mappa adaptation, there was like a bit of controversy in the community because the director made it more of like a cinematic adaptation versus like cartoonish, which the manga kind of is sometimes. So that kind of pissed some people off. But honestly, like I thought the anime pulled it off really well, and that actually worked better for that part of the story because we hadn't gotten to the totally batshit crazy weird moments yet. But we're getting there. The movie's coming out in the fall. Best Girl Raise. Though I do love Makima too. Everyone does.
I'm sure the CGI.
Everyone barks for Makima.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. So the funny part about Fujimoto is he's like the inspiration for Makima was this girl in college was like bullying him, and it kind of turned him on.
I was saying, we talked about it, I think, in the first episode where we're talking about how the creator of Sailor Moon is like attracted to losers.
Yeah. Grubby.
The complete opposite
Yeah, the author of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you gonna say, Caesar?
I'm sure that the CGI helps in the aspect that it's so crazy
It's
that
like
it needs the CGI in order to
the
make
dynamic camera movement is really what it needs. Like Demon Slayer, that's the one thing that like really does well with, where it's like moving around for the action. And Chainsaw Man takes advantage of that too. Plus,
to direct Mappa, you said?
Mappa, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of their like most solid projects, I think. And plus, like they did, I mean, the OP is a fucking banger. Like I have that on my regular music playlist. And they did 13 different EDs, one for each episode.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like they went in hard on that show for animation. If anyone has not seen Chainsaw Man, I do recommend it for anyone who's like a fan of like dark action, dark comedy. All right, who wants to go next?
Well, listen, if you want to keep going in a table, I guess then it would be Caesar.
An anime that caught me by surprise was Zom 100. The last main zombie anime I can really think of is High School of the Dead.
Oh, there was School
10
Live.
years ago. Yeah, but School Life wasn't. While it was set in a zombie world, it was more slice of life than it was a zombie show.
And I guess Zombieland Saga doesn't really count because it's not like a zombie
Yeah, 'cause
apocalypse.
it's more of idol anime.
Yeah. Though I do fucking love Zombieland Saga.
When it comes to Zom 100, I like how they kind of got away with showing a bunch of blood because they just used paint splatter effects instead, so they could
That
show
was pretty
more.
clever.
They could show more grotesque things without it actually being grotesque. And the anime itself was pretty fun, pretty lively, unlike High School of the Dead, which was just, well, just horny. The whole anime
It
was
was
just horny.
so horny. Like the AK-47, the boobs, and
Mhm.
like
But yeah, Zom 100 is a pretty good anime, pretty short too. If you need something that's fun and lighthearted just to watch, and then
I don't know.
zombies.
There are like parts of it that were like pretty heavy, and I don't know. If I think I got to like the part where he meets his boss again,
Okay, well,
and then I was just like, I'm done with this. Like I don't care. I don't know. It's like I'm weird with like zombies, not even just like an anime, just in general. Like they're a weird genre for me.
it's fair.
Angie.
Okay. So I know we were talking about delinquents earlier, and I was going to bring this one up, but it's Rokudo's Bad Girls.
That one was so much fun.
Yeah, it's like was it 12 episode? It was just like a one season series. You should be able to watch it, I believe, on both Prime and Crunchyroll. What it is it's this one kid who gets like a magical scroll that he inherited, I think from his grandpa or something like that. And he ends up getting the ability where he attracts all the delinquent girls, any girl that's pretty much a baddie. And I mean,
You mean best girls?
yes. And it's just kind of like the whole how each of those baddies interact with him. There's obviously one main girl who is best girl, but yeah, I would say if you haven't watched it, I've read the manga first, and then when I found out that they had at least a season out last year, was pretty hyped. So
I think they might be doing another season.
I don't know.
I feel like I heard that they were.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, I would say Himawari san. She is a best girl.
Yes.
Himawari, like from Naruto.
It's a common name. Like
Well,
it's a common
surname,
yeah, common last name. They're like off the top of my head, I can think of at least one other anime with like a main character whose last name is Himawari. I'm sure I could like think of more if I had time.
Yeah, but if you just want like a silly, funny slice of life, delinquent story, but that's still lighthearted, I'd recommend that one.
Nice. I guess that's back to me. So in the opposite direction, that is not slice of life and not chill. I'm gonna go with Oshi no Ko. Have either of you watched it yet?
No, it's on my list.
I have not watched aside of like game videos, but I've seen like other like YouTubers doing like chapter reviews or anime reviews, and it goes pretty deep.
Yeah. So without giving away, because like there are some pretty like major like twists and weird setup. So basically, it's at the same time like a look into the dark underbelly of the Japanese entertainment industry,
Mm-hmm.
and also like a murder mystery. So basically, it follows these two twins, Aqua and Ruby, and basically they're like Ruby wants to be an idol, and Aqua, like, he has his own plans, but he kind of gets dragged into acting because he's talented. So it's like they go through things like reality TV shows, the idol world, content creating, stage acting, movie acting. So it's a lot of just like covering different things within the entertainment industry, and it does it really well. Like, as someone who knows a lot about film and TV, the way they cover reality TV is very accurate
Hmm.
in a way that like not a lot of people realize. Like, obviously, reality TV isn't real, but even when there's not a script, producers can still kind of get the storylines that they want by kind of like leading the people on and like framing things in certain ways and trying to get certain things to happen. And then it's also like, how that can negatively affect people's lives and social media and all that stuff. So it's like a fairly dark show. There's also a lot of comedy in it, which is fun. And then there are like the best girl wars, obviously. Well, all the characters like have these beautiful character designs. So it's like really good, like waifus and like, who gets who. It's like the shipping wars. And Kana is obviously best girl. Sorry.
Kana, huh?
Yeah.
A lowly dragon.
Same name, but yeah, different show. Yeah. But it's very interesting, and it's like kind of a hard sell to some people, but like I would totally recommend it. The first episode's like a movie length, but you just have to like power through it.
I think the hardest sell about it is that you have to have a high dive account unless you sell the seas.
Yes, that is unfortunate. I mean, we talk about Crunchyroll a lot. High Dive is another streaming service for those who aren't aware.
They get a lot more of the adult anime, I would say, like Senin and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
they get more niche stuff and a lot of like etchy things, but they managed to bag Oshi no Ko, which is one of like the biggest ones in recent memory.
I was say I remember getting High Dive years ago, and then there really wasn't much anime at the time, so I just got rid of it. And now it's like, once I did,
They got a whole bunch.
Yeah,
of
they got a
stuff.
whole bunch. I'm like, what the hell? But no, to your point, Oichi Noko.
Oshi no Ko.
Oishi no Ko. See, I totally was going to butcher that, but that's fine. A lot of the reviews that I have seen, like the big focal point is the artwork, especially in like the symbolisms. There's so much like
There's a lot of it.
a
Yeah.
lot of symbolism, especially with like the sparkling eyes and then the dark eyes and everything. So, it's definitely something where it's on my radar, but I don't have high dive yet, and I don't feel like sailing the seas. But at least not for this. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a high dive account.
Yeah, I mean, they do some sorts of specials, I'm sure, or you could just get it for like a month and then cancel it.
I
But-
think it's a 7-day free trial.
But I would totally recommend it. Oshi no Ko is one of those shows that like really sucks you in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if we're talking about other stuff on High Dive, I know I just went, but Caesar, Eminence and Shadow.
Eminence and Shadow, I saw on.
Oh, it was on Hulu. Yeah.
A lot of the stuff from High Dive ends up on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
oddly enough.
But Eminence and Shadow is another one that's on Hulu, and I really like that one. It's just like a parody of like OP isekai pro tags, and it's so funny. And like, the main character is like super overpowered and is like he's convinced that he's a side character, in the world, and he makes up this bullshit story about like this cult that like secretly controls everything, and he's like, we're part of the resistance and all that, and he's like doing his Chinibio bullshit, except it all turns out to be
true,
real.
exactly.
And like he's the only one who doesn't realize this because he gets like this group of followers and they're all totally serious, and it's so funny. And like the character designs for the female characters are great. Like, it's just like it's like I'm gonna shove every like great waifu idea I
Yes.
can into one show.
You're
That's
also
basically
very
what it
biased
is.
since the main waifu's an elf girl.
Maybe, yes. A blonde, big titty elf girl, yes.
In a skin suit.
Exactly.
I would say nothing that you're adding to this is making it any less alluring to
Her
say.
name is Alpha?
Alpha, yeah. Alpha's best girl. But Eminence and Shadow is another good one. All right, what else you got?
If we're gonna stay on the weird and pervy, like Eminence and Shadow and High Dive,
Oh no,
That's-
I know where you're going with this.
I'm gonna say I parry everything. Which
Okay,
is none of those things.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I lied. It's actually gushing over magical.
Okay,
girls.
good. That's where I thought you were going, which is also on High Dive.
Which is why I bought High Dive to watch. Well, technically, I got High Dive to originally watch Oshinoko and Maid Wars. which
Akira
I
Maid
bought
Wars.
Neither of.
The Maid War is good. You should watch it. But yeah, Gushing Over Magical Girls is really good.
It's a very 18 plus anime.
Oh yes. So I started reading it when it first started coming out. There were like 3 chapters out, and I'm like, Angie, you need to read.
Yeah, I remember this. You just sent me right away, and it's just like, Andrew, and I think this is something you're gonna like. I'm like, oh, what is this?
Horny Magical Girls.
Yes, one horny magical girl in particular.
Mm.
In
Yeah.
particular, but it doesn't mean
Yes.
that the other ones aren't.
And Demon Girls, but like, yeah. So it's exactly what it sounds like and what you've all heard, I'm sure. But it's like, oh, how do you even start? So like the main character is a normal girl who loves magical girls, who gets
Loves magical girls.
loves
Love.
like very horny love. But very horny sexual love.
But she's unaware of her deep desire for magical girls. She just thinks she likes them a lot.
Yeah, so she gets recruited by this like evil mascot character to be like the villain of
From
you
the
know
verse.
the villain, what would be like a typical magical girl setup, except her superpower is BDSM.
Yep.
So
As
like
you do.
yeah. So she, like ties up and spanks the magical girls and all that weird stuff. And it's like the animation on this, they went so hard. It was just like you can tell like the animators were really into it. Like it's a labor of love. But
It's a labor of something.
yeah. Well, I mean
It's really hard to animate with one hand, you know?
But aside from that, the comedy is actually really good too. Like obviously it's like horny and I wouldn't want to watch it with anyone else, but like it's also really funny.
It's a very closed door kind of anime.
Yes. It's like file this one under the same category that Ichizoku Reviewers is
Yes.
under.
Closed door anime with the History Channel on the back button.
So it's,
Alt tab really quick.
I would say it's just gonna be kind of like in the middle of spanking, and then all of a sudden you have to back in its Pawn Stars. Best thing I can do is
Best thing I can do is
Like
this
50
riding
cents.
crop.
yeah. I was gonna say best I can do is like 50 cents and half-eaten sandal.
Best I can do about tree fitty.
Loch Ness monster.
Goddamn Loch Ness monster. I ain't giving you no tree fitty.
But this is definitely one of the okay. So it sounds a lot like based off of you too, your suggestions of shows that I need to get High Dive.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's worth it. It's only like $5 a month.
Okay.
And again, High Dive is very niche, like Sam said, and very aimed towards the adult anime watcher.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I mean,
by
they
the
do
way.
also have like a bunch of isekai too.
Yeah.
Like they have No Game No Life, which is also very horny, but like it's famous enough that people know what it is. And Reincarnated as a Sword, which is
Game,
not
No
horny,
Life got
but is really
a
good.
sequel announced.
What's it?
No Game No Life got a sequel announced. After
Bullshit.
10 years.
Bullshit. I do
Zero
not
is
believe you.
back, boys.
I do not believe you.
But again, High Dive, yes, while it's aimed
I'm
more
looking this
towards
up.
the Sentai, towards the adult animation, there are
When you say Sentai, do you mean Seinen?
Seen it, yeah, sign in. Sorry.
Seinen.
Not
Sentai is something
Sentai
different.
is Power Rangers.
Yes.
But listen, we don't know how to word today. We don't know how to Japanese today. We are terrible weebs.
ごめんなさい。私は日本語上手。
はいはい、俺は外人です。
大好きはチンポです。
And we are back to dick jokes.
Can't have an episode without it.
No. Also on High Dive, there are more wholesome anime, like Dungeon People, for example, which is just this girl. She goes into the dungeon. He gets further than anyone else and gets recruited by the dungeon master to become the manager. So what she does is she puts treasure back into treasure chest, helps the monsters get back into place, and it's just, very wholesome anime. So it's not all about the adult,
Reincarnated as a Sword is another like mostly wholesome one. Yeah, it's like the main character gets reincarnated as a sword, which is fucking stupid, but it knows that it is. But he's like an intelligent weapon, so he like gets a bunch of skills, kind of like Rimuru in Slime. But then like he gets wielded by this like hat girl.
Of course.
Yeah, but it's like he acts like a father towards her, which is great. So it's like very cute.
And then I Parry Everything is also on High Dive, which is just this old dude who was told he was the worst at everything, trained in solitude for like 20 years and became just the absolute strongest in the field. Because that's how anime works.
Okay, so supposedly the leak on No Game No Life, like supposedly they're going to announce it, but I'm pretty sure that's bullshit. Like no official announcement yet.
People have dreams, Sam, and you just want to come in and walk all over them, okay?
Yeah, that's my kink.
I'm gonna say, are we back to gushing over men at magical girls?
Like Blackbeard would say.
Utana Hiragi is my spirit.
You spirit waifu?
Yes. Honestly, like when they release a figure of Utana, I'm totally getting one.
It's really hard to open a figure with one hand, Sam.
Is this gonna be one of the ones that is in a jar?
No, I don't put any of those in a jar.
I can give you a jar.
I don't want to ruin them, and that's just kind of weird.
They won't ruin them. I'll just peel the paint.
You speak from experience.
I have a
jar.
What's your name? Rainbow Dash. That's the one. That's how little I know about MLP. I just know the
Don't worry, I got you.
No, but you got one of your parrot figures in one, I'm sure. Yeah, Caesar is a furry.
No.
Hashtag not a furry. Carrot best girl.
It's like Caesar's like, I'm not a furry, but carrot though.
Just Carrot, not Wanda. Wanda's a dog. That's weird. Just Carrot.
That's where I draw the line.
All right, Angie, you got one next?
Oh yeah. So the anime that I've watched recent that I've liked, and don't judge me. Right, you're gonna judge me. I don't care. My Dress Up Darling.
Oh, I like that one.
It's a little wholesome. Yeah.
You didn't watch it. I
It's
didn't watch
horny
that
and
one or the other
wholesome, but
one.
yeah.
It's horny and wholesome. Yeah. But I mean, okay. So two reasons for that. One.
Caesar, you should watch it. It's horny.
Is it like you said My Dress Up Darling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like the other one, Rent a Girlfriend? I didn't watch
No,
that,
no,
so I
no.
wouldn't know.
So Dress Up Darling is this guy who like grew up making Hina dolls, like meets this girl who wants to cosplay. So he makes her cosplay clothes, and then it's like a romance between the two of them.
Exactly. But as we tend to cosplay. I mean, we're not like professional cosplayers, but we cosplay at events and stuff like that.
True.
And
I've been there. I've done that. I've sweated.
and that's kind of one of those things where it's like you kind of learn a little bit about cosplay. It's definitely made by someone who definitely enjoys cosplaying. So, it's kind of one of those animes where it gives you a little bit of a lesson along the way. And I mean, it's also wholesome too.
And Maureen, the main girl, is like a hot blonde Gyaru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we love Gyarus.
Yes, not enough Gyaru.
Especially wholesome.
Oh,
Gyarus.
yes.
Best girls.
Yes.
But it's definitely if you're one who likes cosplaying or sewing or anything like that.
Or even just rom-coms.
Or just even rom-coms, yeah.
I like rom-coms. I'll give it a go. All I hear is the stuff that Giguk says, and it's like, all of his tastes are really sus. So,
I mean, he likes Dress Up Darling because his girlfriend is kind of like Maureen.
His wife,
Ron,
I think.
Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they're married
Yep.
now.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm also dating a blonde woman, though we don't cosplay.
I'm married to a blonde man who does not cosplay.
I'm married to the game, guys.
No, I was gonna say.
If anyone listening, like Caesar's looking for a date.
Tall, 6 foot, Wait, what was
6 foot.
Yeah, and Caesar's looking for a
looking for someone in finance,
9-inch cock.
preferably 8 inches and under. Don't apply.
That's gonna happen.
The running joke is that I'm gay, guys, but I am. It's true. No. Please. Do not DM me. I'm happy being single.
Sure, you say that.
Don't DM me.
I can't afford you. I buy too many toys. That sounds way wrong in this context. But it needs to.
Caesar's going to be starting an OnlyFans as soon as we start doing video for this channel.
Only feet.
There we go.
Fives only. Fives only on WikiFeet.
My girlfriend's just sitting over there questioning her life choices. Let's talk about Spy Family. It's about time.
I would say, have we talked about it?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
I was like, after we recorded the last one, I was really surprised that I just like didn't say anything about it because
I figured there was going to be a lot of crossover between the three of us, especially for Spy Fam, since we saw the movie together.
Mm-hmm. All right. So for anyone who's not aware, Spy Family is like one of the biggest anime / manga out right now. It's about 3 people who all have like special things about them. Like there's a spy, there's an assassin, and there's a telepath. And then they all form a fake family to like, do this mission or whatever. And it's like basically a slice of life comedy with some action in it.
You forgot Bond.
Well, yeah, but okay, they also have a dog who's very cute.
No, but the dog also has.
He can see the future.
Yeah,
He has like foresight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a movie just came out for it earlier this year, and we all went and saw it, and it was good. It had one of the weirdest, funniest scenes I've seen in forever.
The poop scene?
God.
Yeah, poop for the poop god.
How was that in English?
Let's just say while I was watching it, I kept turning my head to look at my husband to see his reaction. And it was just the reaction of like, this is like 5 minutes of us like waiting for a girl to maybe or maybe not poop. I don't know how I feel about this. Like he
But
was
it's
trying
fucking
to process it. I mean, the animation for that entire scene was
God tier.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's where all the budget went. But I would say at least the English audio, I mean, it was funny. I think my humor came more so from looking at my husband and thinking like, who's the poor schmuck, who has that
That credit?
that credit
As the poop god.
as the animator for the scene with Poop for the Poop God.
Kusokami.
No, I meant like the actual animators
Oh,
who are doing like
okay.
key art and stuff like that, where it's just gonna be like, oh, so what's your experience? Oh, I made the key art animation for poop for the poop god on Spy Family movie. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could add that to my resume, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah. But the show in general is just a lot of fun. It's very wholesome and sweet, and there are some really great comedic moments in it and some good action. I started reading the manga again pretty early on during the pandemic, and we were like talking about the chapters as they were coming out, and we were really excited for the anime. I will say, I think the anime does a little bit too much anime original stuff, just because like you lose some of the story momentum, and there isn't as much like serious stuff. It feels like because the manga I think balances a bit better.
Yeah, it's both serious but like wholesome funniness.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's more comedy. The anime is a little more comedy than anything.
Well, I can interject here. As an anime only who hasn't read the manga, I think it's fine. I don't see any disparity between the scenes really. Like I don't see what you're talking about anime only stuff. But if you're reading the manga, I can see that it's probably a lot faster paced and there's more in depth than it is in the anime.
yeah. It's definitely that like some of the like goofier, sillier stuff that really has nothing to do with the plot is anime original, which like it's still fun to watch, but
absolutely.
a lot of the actual story stuff is really good. Like I thought it kind of lost a lot of momentum in the second season until it got to the cruise ship arc.
Okay.
Because I mean that's in the manga and it's really good and it's like relatively serious. I think one of the best parts in the entire series is when Lloyd's handler is like interrogating the terrorists and she like goes on this like speech about war and how actually awful it is and these people that are trying to start a war just don't understand how fucking awful it is.
Oh, like the extremist group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, have you ever like had to like pick up your relatives' body parts or seen them splattered against the wall, or have you ever been like so hungry you would just eat dirt because there's nothing because everything's all bombed to shit? And it's a really really great scene, and I feel like if the series were different, like you could do it like totally straight as like a serious series and it could be really good, but it's more comedic and wholesome and that works for it and it's a lot of fun. So
it's a good cross between slice of life with the serious nature of the assassin and the spy.
yeah, all the different elements work really well, like individually and together.
And I like how Anya is always trying to help her parents in a way, but also being a complete mess and not helping them at all, making everything worse.
I think it's like one of the best depictions of children.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
They make her,
it's like
her worse.
stupid kid logic is so on point.
And it's kind of one of those things where, like, I mean, I guess a person who hates kids would be like, oh my God, why is she, like, there, or type thing. But, you know, I still think it's, like, this is actually written really well, because I could imagine myself being 4 or 5, thinking that I'm trying to help save the world, and really I'm just kind of in the way.
Yeah. It's like when Lloyd first adopts her, she recognizes that she's not as old as he like wants her to be because she needs to be like 6 to go into kindergarten. And I think she's only like 4 or 5, and she lies about her age because she hears him thinking that. So it's like she's not only kind of a dumb little kid, but she's also really young.
Which, again, the fact that they're able to kind of write a child, you know, really, really well, I can appreciate that. But I just like a lot of the scenes where, you know, she's just trying her best. Especially with Bond. So spoilers with the, you know, dog with foresight. She kind of reads his mind to determine like if something's going to happen in the future, and you know, try to circumvent any disasters from potentially happening, which is keep a good balance between the two characters, especially because they can't speak to each other. You know, She can't speak dog, but I actually kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's a great mix, especially with Lloyd playing, who's the spy, and the father playing the straight man, because he's like very smart, extremely competent, and like very serious, and then he has to deal with his daughter, who's kind of she's a kid, and his wife in quotations, who's an assassin, who's just she's very good at being an assassin. She's kind of terrible at everything else. And
Yeah.
And the thing is, he doesn't know that she's an assassin.
Yeah,
They don't know about that's not a plot point that he's aware of.
they're all trying to hide their secrets from each other,
Yes.
and that's the source of a lot of the
Yeah.
comedy and drama.
And it doesn't help that his quote unquote wife's brother is also part of the organization that he's trying to take down.
Yeah,
Secretly.
essentially, like the secret police are like their version of the SS.
I wouldn't have said that.
I mean,
That's what they're based on.
I
No.
probably said the FBI.
That's what they're based on. It's like, I mean, it takes place in the like Cold War.
Yeah, it takes
thing.
place in like a Germany-ish.
He's like KGB. That's probably a better approximation of what it is.
No, you're probably right with SS because it's set more in Berlinish because it's Southwest or.
Yeah, I mean,
West
they're
East.
like torturing and executing people,
yeah.
which is
sure.
like going on in the background of this like fun kids show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spy Family is great. If anyone hasn't seen it, highly recommend it.
And the movie. The movie has nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah, it's not
No,
canon. But you actually don't have to have seen the series before the movie because it explains everything
That's
in the
pretty
first
true,
5
yeah.
minutes.
It's true, yeah. It's kind of a good one-off series or episode or movie, I guess.
Yeah.
But moving on.
All right, Caesar, what you got?
I was gonna say Goblin Slayer,
Yeah.
but I didn't really watch season 2. I only saw season 1, which was I only really liked it because I just kind of liked D&D, and it was D&D based. So,
It's
But-
super mid.
and the CGI, why is he so badly CGI'd into the
I don't
kids'
know.
world?
I don't know, man. It's like they have the ultra edgy first episode, and then it just becomes a harem anime.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of
I
sad.
think we should probably leave the big one for well, I'll just say it now. So I think between the three of us, I think you saw it, Angie. Bochi the Rock just calls to the weeb fandom as a whole.
Yes.
We all have anxiety. We all have problems talking to people, and Bochi
She's the me IRL wife.
yes, exactly. It's like I have issues talking to people. I can't physically stare people in the eyes for more than 2 seconds without getting anxious about it, and it's just something I can't help. I can't avoid it. So, and Bochi is that to the extreme. You talk to her, and she melts into a puddle.
Yeah. It's okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, Bochi the Rock is a story. It's a high school band story, like girl band.
Like K-On! Or
Yeah, it's like K-On! Meets Watamote, if you know what those are. And if you don't, so Bochi is a socially awkward girl, and she starts playing guitar, and she gets really good at it, and then she meets these other girls, and they want to form a band, but she is so socially awkward that she has trouble playing on stage, even though she's like an amazing guitarist, and it's all about them trying to be a band and all the comedy that's associated with that.
Mm.
Have you watched any of it, Angie?
I watched like the first like episode. I mean, it was. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep going at it. But as Caesar mentioned, yes, it's a character where you're extreme introvert. I can relate. I don't know if anyone's been noticing that I've been relatively quiet. But yeah, similar to Caesar, it's like I don't want to make contact with individuals unless I'm kind of forced to, or if like I'm in a professional setting, because that's eye contact is key, whatever. But I mean, I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, it's a fun show. The animation, is it Madhouse? I can't remember who did it.
I think it was Madhouse.
Cloverworks, I think.
Oh, okay. Cloverworks is good too, but the animation is super expressive, where like they kind of go off model and do like unrealistic things to represent Bochi's emotions. And there are parts of it where there are parts of it where it's just so goddamn funny. When Caesar said like she melts into a puddle, he's not kidding. Or like she like turns into like pixels, or like
Or when she's feeling just slightly confident, she turns into Godzilla.
yeah. It's a really good show. I think most people would enjoy it as a comedy and as a music show too.
Yeah, the music is really good. It's made by a professional band. The opening, the music in the show, it's all really high quality.
It's like K-On! Except more comedy focused and less slice of life focused. So yeah, Ochi's a good anime. Drunk bassist is best girl.
I was gonna say, wasn't there's one of the characters who drinks a lot.
Yes.
I mean, a lot. I was say, did we say where you can watch Ochi?
On Crunchy.
On Crunchy.
Yeah.
You got any more?
So for me, I liked, was it School Babysitters? So anyone who loves those, like, it's not going to be your thing, Caesar, but
not mine either.
I would say it's not going to be yours either, Sam, but it's, the whole premise of it is just cute anime babies.
Yep, you lost me.
Shinzo Abe approves from Beyond.
I mean, it's just like a wholesome story. Very briefly, it's about two orphaned boys where they get taken in by a older woman who's kind of like the shoot, I can't even think of what she is. Kind of like the headmistress of a school or university. And I guess her son passed away in the same accident that this boy's parents passed away from.
Angie,
how dare you?
This is a podcast.
This is holy. It's sacred.
It was my alarm to remind me to pray. But anyways.
Speaking of holy and sacred.
But this series is just kind of like the slice of life. Boys kind of go through the lives, struggling with they don't have their parents anymore. And, having like a high school boy raising his 1-year-old or 2-year-old brother. And just a lot of cute anime babies. So it's only one season. The manga, I think, is still ongoing. But yeah, if anyone's down to, have a cute, wholesome series where there's anime babies drawn really well and adorable, it's on Crunchy and should also be on Prime as well.
Now I feel the need to go in the complete opposite direction. You ready for this? You ever heard of Doro Hedoro?
I've heard of it. Never watched it.
Okay. So remember
the guy has no body part?
No, that's so Doro Hedoro should not be confused with Dororo.
That's the one.
Yep. So Dororo is the one where a kid or a baby has his body parts stolen by demons and he has to fight to get them back. Doro Hedoro is one of those, like I was talking last time about Golden Kamuy, where it's really hard to categorize. It's a mix of dark fantasy, sci-fi, extremely dark comedy, crime, like other stuff. So let me set this up for you. There is a sort of cyberpunk-ish fantasy world where there's this really like grungy city called Hole. And there are these sorcerers who come in from their world. Like there's a separate sorcerer world. They come into this place to like experiment with their magic on people, and they like fuck them up and like turn them into like mutants and like other shit. And there's this lizard man who's going around murdering these sorcerers. Because someone, he used to be human, and then someone like turned him into what he is. Okay. So he's very violently killing them after he puts their heads in his mouth because there's someone in there who can identify them.
Okay. It sounds very anime.
Yeah, it's super fucking weird and trippy, but it's so good. Caesar, you might not like it because there's a lot of CG in it, but it's good CG.
No CG is good CG.
I was gonna say, if we haven't learned anything yet, it's that Caesar does not like CG.
But it's like
In his anime.
totally fucking bonkers. Super, super ultra violent. Like someone like, people regularly get like cut up or blown up or, people killed or in the first episode, a girl gets her face ripped off. But it's also really, really funny. It's like super
Face
dark
getting ripped
comedy.
off.
The way they do it, yes, actually. But yeah, and so he's trying to like solve the mystery of like who he is, where he came from, how did he get turned into a lizard man, because like he also had like the side effect of like giving him amnesia, but he's also immune to magic now. And he's one of the few people that is. Yeah. But it's like such a good show, but it's super dark and super funny, and it's on Netflix, I think. It was one of Mappa's early projects. I think it came out like winter of 2020, and they put pause on it after the first season came out because they were going to work on all the other stuff that like Vinland Saga. I think it was the guy who directed Vinland Saga, and he was like, I want to finish this and then I'll get back to it. So now they're actually
was such a good show.
Yeah, I was thinking that's on my list. I was gonna mention it later, but
You can mention it now. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, so before we do transition over to that, so you're saying that it's the lizard guy is the main character?
yes.
Okay.
And he has like a crazy like blonde partner who like she owns a gyoza shop and like regularly makes gyoza for him, but she's also like a total badass who like also kills wizards with him. It's so weird. It's so great.
Now I'm just imagining her chucking a gyoza at a wizard.
Yeah.
It's like 1d4 damage.
By the way,
It's
it's
like-
like all anime. I could say Bleach is about ghost samurais who hunt demons, and you wouldn't know it was Bleach until I said it was Bleach.
Okay, but like if you're talking like levels of weirdness, Dorohedoro is like infinitely weirder than Bleach.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Bleach is pretty grounded
Yeah.
for what it is.
Yeah, but Dorohedoro is great. I would 100% recommend people who have the stomach for the violence to give it a shot on Netflix. And they're doing a second season, which will hopefully be a complete adaptation, because as soon as it ended, I read the manga and that shit was great. Okay, but we mentioned Vinland Saga because it's the same director.
Great opening. Great opening.
Yeah, and like just great show in general. Angie, did you get a chance to watch it?
Which one?
Vinland Saga.
No, I haven't.
Oh, so good. Vikings.
Vikings.
Anime Vikings.
Right.
Okay.
Well, okay, so it's somewhat based on a true story. Like they take a lot of liberties, but like Thorfinn was a real person, or he's based on a real person. There are real people, like historical figures, like Knut, who becomes king,
Okay.
was a real king of Denmark, and there were a few others that were real people. But basically, like it starts out as a revenge story. This kid's father is killed, and obviously he wants revenge for that.
Mhm.
And he just goes on this journey of like violence, and then it eventually turns into self-discovery and all that. And like the first season is like fairly straightforward and like very brutal and really good, and then the second season, everyone's probably heard, turns into Farmland Saga. Where it definitely takes a turn for the slow, but it's like more dramatic and really in depth. It's really good.
Okay.
Got anything else to say about it, Caesar?
So where can I watch it?
Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Crunchy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's also on Netflix. That's where I started watching it.
Yeah.
Originally.
There are actually 2 English dubs of it for some reason, because like Netflix dubbed it separately than Crunchy did.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched it subbed as it came out, so I don't know.
In terms of within the past 7 or so years, I'm actually kind of tapped out.
Yeah.
It just, the anime I like Actually, there is one that I don't have on my list. Shangri-La Frontier.
Oh
Which
yeah.
I absolutely did not like the first episode, the first watch around. I just couldn't get into it. I didn't like the
I
premise.
think I recommended it to you because I'm like, this is a good gaming anime.
Probably. And it's like I'm like, oh, it's just like an SAO clone, but it's so much better than an SAO
Yeah.
clone.
Well, I mean, he's not trapped in the game. He's just playing it, and it's like it's so much fun.
It's like the whole story about the guy is he only plays bad virtual reality games. That's his thing. He goes out, he buys the shittiest anime game, the virtual reality games that he could find that is known to have bugs, unbeatable, unplayable, and he breaks them and beats them. That's his thing. That's what he likes to do. He calls himself the trash gamer. So he's like, wow, I ran out of trash games. I'm going to play the best game ever.
Yep, and then it turns out that his trash game skills actually translate to being really good at the good game.
Really good. Like he is OP beyond OP.
But it's like in a way that actually like makes sense. Like he's actually using like skill as opposed to like, main character bullshit like Kirito.
Yeah, he's not just overpowered because he's overpowered. In this virtual reality, because he has so much experience, he can actually do the things he can do in the game.
So it's not like Sword Art Online where it's just like, I'm amazing because I'm the main character.
No,
Exactly.
it has
No.
actual like reasons.
And the woman, the female character in the anime is not part of his heroine. It's just a woman character in the anime.
That's what's great. It's like, well, there's this girl at his high school who has a crush on him.
No,
that, like,
that's not
gets
a crush,
him.
bro. That's not a
That's an
crush.
obsession.
She is simping hard.
But okay, so she like basically like tries to get him to play so they can play together because she's like obsessed with him.
Yes.
But that's the only thing. Like, his other party members, like one is this woman that like he knows from playing other games,
Mhm.
and they're not like
Pencil
they're
Knight.
yeah, like they're just friends. Well, frenemies basically.
Okay.
And then the other one, this blonde chick, is not a chick. She's a
pro gamer.
is a dude who's a pro gamer who happens to like female avatars.
Which there's
So-
three of those. Yeah.
So there's no harem element in this, and that's good.
Well,
Well, actually, you know what?
refreshing.
Best girl is Emil the bunny.
Yes. The bunny that only he knows about. Well, that he
Well,
triggered
she's an NPC that he like gains through an event.
because he's so bad at because he only plays bad video games. He somehow managed to trigger an impossible event that only he was able to do after the game was released like what, 6 months ago, a year ago?
Something like that. But yeah. Oh, about Emil the bunny and the main character, the voice actors for the two are actually married in real life.
Okay,
Which
so they
makes
have
it
good
very cute.
chemistry.
Yeah, that's why they have such good chemistry.
Speaking of voice actors, Frieren and Anya share the same voice actor. It
Yes,
goes
they
from
do.
Very high pitch to very low pitch.
Yeah, it's like she's got great range.
Oh, there's plenty of voice actors.
Mhm.
Orochimaru.
Have really good vocal range.
Yeah, I mean, we could do a whole episode on voice actors, I'm sure.
Okay.
Johnny Young Bosch. That's it. That's all anime.
Oh,
That's
actually,
all
that reminded me because, Johnny Young Bosch was Kaneda in Akira, and then
Vash.
and Vash, but he was
Hikaru.
Kaneda in Akira, and the dude who did the backgrounds in Akira also did the backgrounds in Dorohedoro.
Oh,
So it's like it's a really good looking show, despite having a lot of CG.
I would say you're gonna have to really sell it hard for Caesar because I don't think he's budging right
I
now.
watched Goblin Slayer and he looked like ass.
It's like you have to get used to it, but the rest of the show is so bonkers that it's worth it. What do you got, Angie?
So I have Take Gururi. Oh my god.
Oh, the
Yeah,
gambling
I
show.
might have butchered that. My Japanese is not good. But yes, it's the gambling one. So it's like the high school gambling.
Gamburu?
Yeah. But it's the high school gambling series. So it's only 2 seasons.
And
And
it's got the hot, crazy waifu.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Actually, it has several, but like one in particular.
I mean, it's very I would say it's it can be very sexually, I guess, charged. It's on Netflix, so if anyone has a Netflix subscription, But yeah, it's the whole point of it is in order to be kind of the top student, you have to kind of gamble your way up there. And
which is really stupid, but it works in the show.
yeah, I mean, it's just pretty much tournament arc, I guess.
Yeah.
Tournament arc. Tournament arc.
But I mean, the stakes are high, and I mean, I think part of the allure for it is just gambling is not a big thing in Japan, or at least it's not.
Really? Pachinko is like the number one thing they have in
Okay, but
Japan.
it's not officially gambling.
It's
Like,
gambling.
It's
I mean,
gambling.
that's what I'm saying. It's they like gambling, but there's very strict laws there as far as gambling. So like having a gambling themed school, or in this case manga or anime, is alluring, I guess. But stakes are high. There's some fan service, and I don't know if anyone wants to point in anything on it. I don't know if any of you guys have watched this.
I've watched it.
Or read it.
I watched, I think, both seasons. Like Yumiko is like hot and crazy. That's all I really remember. The main character is a total
Is that the one
scrub.
in red?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
black hair, red eyes, big boobs.
I only know from the cover art.
Yep.
She's like on the cover art.
Yeah, Yumiko. And it's her eyes, kind of glow when, a challenge is presented to her.
Like Ippo.
Yes.
Sure.
You haven't got there yet. You'll see.
Okay, but Yumiko does not have Thundercock, but she does have huge knockers.
Just
so.
thunder tits.
Thunder tits, there we go. But yeah, no.
These are my boom tits.
But I mean, it's just like a big cast of characters, and each of them have kind of their own thing. You've got the crazy psycho, like Russian roulette type girl who's like excited at the idea of her downfall.
Is that the one who took out her own eye?
Yes.
Yeah.
It all sounds very interesting.
I mean, it's all right. You could binge it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 2 seasons, but you have Netflix though, right? Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'd put it in the category of like, it's not like great, but it'll definitely suck you in. Like it's like, you'll want to keep watching it.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely like it's nice background.
Mm-hmm.
Like a background anime, like if you're working or whatever.
Did you get around to watching Vivi?
No.
Oh.
I haven't even started it.
Vivi Fluoride Eye Song is like another sci-fi anime, and it's about robots taking over the world. And then like this one robot who is, she starts out as like an AI robot idol at a theme park, but she somehow gets involved with like time travel and the resistance against robots taking over the world. It sounds really weird. It is, but like it's really good, and the animation is like great. Like there's some really cool fight scenes in it. And like as a sci-fi story, it's pretty good. So I would recommend that one. I watched it once when it came out. I don't have a ton to say about it because it's been a while, but I figured I should at least mention it. And I thought Caesar might have like started watching it, but he did not.
I was going to watch it, but instead I was the strongest demon lord who reincarnated as an average nobody.
Oh my god, this fucking shit.
Which was dumb.
Yeah, no shit. You can tell from the title.
But hey, there was elf girls with big boobs, and a
Okay.
succubus with big boobs,
Okay.
and another elf girl with big boobs.
Okay,
That-
okay.
That's the whole story.
All right.
There's literally
A
nothing
plus.
going on.
Good shit.
So, what was it that attracted you to watching that?
Tits.
Oops.
100%. I like
It's-
shitty isekai. If you can't tell by my list, I love shitty isekai.
I mean, yeah, they're good every once in a while. Do I have any other isekai on here? I don't think I do.
I would say, do you have anything with a ridiculously long name?
I do have like a couple ridiculously long name ones if you care about that.
Sure.
Bofuri, I maxed out my defense so I wouldn't get hurt. Do you remember that one?
Is that the one with the shield?
Yeah. It's a lot like Shangri-La Frontier. It came out first, but
This is the other one. My mom's 2-hit skill kills everything.
oh god, that one's terrible though. No, but Bofuri is like a cute girls doing cute things, slice of life thing where girls are playing a VR game, and one of them is kind of a dumbass with a huge luck stat, so she does a min-max build for defense, and it turns out to be super OP. And it's just like a chill, fun show. I mean, like, I've rewatched it a couple times, even though it only came out in 2020, just because it's like nice, chill background noise.
Mm.
So I would recommend that. It's also on Crunchyroll. It's just like a fun, good, feel-good watch. It's like, moe anime characters, cute girls.
Oh, I'm sold.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only one I can think of on here that has like a long title. Oh wait, there's My Next Life is a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom.
Okay.
Oh,
Bacarina. Yes. So it's like, I'm sure Angie and I will do like a shoujo or otome isekai episode eventually, but Bacarina, or the really long ass title that I just said, was the first one that that I really got into. But basically, it's this girl playing an otome game, which is like a Japanese game for girls, and it's like a fantasy game, and there's like this villainess character who's like kind of dumb and like winds up dying in all the different story routes.
Yes.
And then the girl gets reincarnated as that villainess, and she's like, oh shit, I'm gonna die. So she like tries to, get out of that situation by doing a whole bunch of different stupid things because she's also dumb. But what she doesn't realize is that being dense as a neutron star tends to attract other celestial bodies, so she gets her own reverse harem. It's a really good, like, fun rom-com.
I would say that was pretty popular for a minute.
Yeah, it was. It was like the biggest otome isekai like manga for a while, and then it was the first one to get turned into an anime.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like villainous anime are becoming more of a thing, which I'm here for.
I would say a lot of isekai turning into the villainous and changing your route has been really hot.
Can you change your fate?
But it's cute. I love it. I think you're the one who actually first recommended it to me. There's a lot of series that you've sent me like the manga first, and you're like, look, read this, and then followed up with, it's an anime now. Let's watch this.
Yeah, upcoming next, Dan out next season. Yes. I was like, no, you need to read this manga. It's so good. We'll get to that eventually, though, I'm sure, once it comes out, because the manga is great.
If you're wondering why they never send me anything, I don't read manga. I stopped reading manga after the big 3 ended 10 years ago.
Scrub.
I still read Ippo.
Yeah, because it's never gonna end.
It's never gonna end.
I mean, you read One Piece too.
That's true, but that's it. Ippo and One Piece, the 2 longest manga ever.
Yeah.
I was thinking, do you have room to even read anything else when you're reading those 2?
I mean, it's one chapter every once in a while.
I mean, yeah,
especially Ippo. Ippo is rough for a certain time because Ippo doesn't have an official translation, so it's all fan subs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy because it's like so old and so popular.
All fan subs.
Yikes.
That's why we only have a 4th season after 10 years.
I don't know. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we have any. I don't think they even published any manga, did they?
Who?
Ippo?
Not officially.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, not over here.
No.
That's what I figured.
Oh, did you get around to watching the rest of Hell's Paradise?
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good.
It fell off so hard. It was good. It was visually, it was good. Story-wise, it was interesting. Character-wise, I thought it was pretty good. The main character just looks like your typical short, white-haired anime character.
Yeah, but the best part about him is like his goal is not to like take revenge or anything. Anything
It's just to
basic.
get
He
back
wants
to
to
his
get
wife.
home to his wife.
Yeah.
Like, I respect that.
Probably doesn't even exist because if you saw all the way to the end, he realizes that it could just be a weird ninja trick on him.
I mean, that's like a major spoiler.
But it really isn't because the whole point of the show is that he is a ninja who is part of like the worst ninja group, and everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for that guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you want the spoilers? Because I did read the entire manga because it's finished.
I was
Go
gonna
for
say,
it.
so
His wife is real. He makes it back to her. It's great.
Nice.
I was gonna
Does
say
he
it's pretty
become
much the
immortal?
Odyssey, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
What
Does
was
he
it?
become immortal? Do they get the flower or
No.
whatever it is
No.
that they're looking for?
No. That whole thing turns out to be a lie.
No. So they're just fighting demons or whatever.
Well,
those
okay,
things are.
so basically it's
Celestials.
like the immortals that live on the island, they make the tan, which is like the golden, liquor out of like the corpses of all the people who like come there, and they have this weird like magical process for that. So it's like even if like you were to drink it, like it would probably just kill you or turn you into flowers. So it's like it only works for them.
Checks out.
Yeah.
For their whatever that species.
Yeah, because they're not human
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay, so for me, I'm listening to this. Like, it kind of reminds me of the Odyssey, like Homer's Odyssey, almost.
It's kind of like the Odyssey, but it's also like heavily inspired by Buddhist and Taoist mythology.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I like Greek mythology, so I'd be down to watch it. So
Yeah,
And you're Buddhist, so you'd really enjoy
Yes.
it.
yeah, it's Jioku Raku or Hell's Paradise, and it's on Crunchyroll.
Okay.
So it's a good like dark shonen, and if you want to read the manga, that's also pretty good, and it's finished.
So now I've got some more homework because there's a lot of series here. I'm like, okay.
Have either of you even started Captain Laserhawk or Blood Dragon Dreaming?
No. I know. Angie, do you have any other ones that you want to talk about?
Since we're kind of talking about Villainous, there's Villainous level 99. I may be the hidden
yes.
boss, but I'm not the Demon Lord.
I love the manga for that one.
Yes, it's so slow though.
Yeah, the anime was good, not great.
No, it wasn't great, but it's. I mean, I was pretty excited though when it was.
Yeah, same. That's one of my favorite of the manga.
But it's cute. So essentially, kind of talking about isekai with Villainous. It's a college student who's like reincarnated into this world with magic and mages and stuff, and they kind of established that having like dark hair and growing up with a family of who like do dark magic, so she's kind of like seen as like an outcast.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
I'm trying to phrase it without
So-
necessarily releasing too much information.
Basically what it is, well, I mean, it's in the title.
I mean, yes. She's technically, the hidden boss for a
For the game.
yeah, for like the Otome game that she's supposed to be in.
But because she has black hair and she has infinity for dark type magic, like everyone is prejudiced against her.
Mhm.
And so what she does is she just devotes her childhood to leveling up because she's, a gamer.
But, in the process of doing that, she's OP now.
Yeah, she maxes out her level at level 99. And there's just like a whole lot of like it's like OP isekai bullshit, but with like a charming female protagonist, and it's like way better than your average bog standard isekai.
Yeah, because I think was it like in order to enter the academy or something like that, she's supposed to be at take like a level 10 or something like that.
I think they. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember how they established it. She was supposed to be like a lower level, and then it's like they rank her, and she's just like level 99.
And they think she's lying.
Yeah. But I do kind of like how, at least in the manga, they do kind of establish a little bit in the anime how like even her dark magic, like if she's trying to heal someone, it looks grotesque, but she actually
that's
does
really
heal
funny.
someone.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't be like don't judge a book by its cover, I guess. That's the easiest way to describe it. But
Yeah.
it is pretty funny. I do say the anime doesn't take, or it kind of loses a little bit of its charm compared to the manga, but I don't know, what's your opinion, Sam?
I do think the anime is not as good as the manga, partially because of like the animation not being super great, and part of it being like the pacing and some of the things that they like changed or switched around. There's also some pretty bad CG in it, and for me to say that, you know it's bad.
It must be bad if you're saying it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think overall it's still a cute, fun story and a good rom-com and some really funny moments.
Did we bring up the wrong way to use healing magic?
We didn't.
No, we
No,
didn't.
that was a pretty good one.
I actually enjoy that. I like the subversion of, the healer aspect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's a healer, but he's out there punching people to good health.
I think like the best part about it is like healing himself, so he constantly like gets stronger, and it's basically like doping with magic.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's technically not hurting anyone he's punching.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a fun show, and like I love Rose, like such a good like Dami mommy character.
Dami Mommy, who, well, in her defense, she wants everyone to stay alive.
Yes,
So
I mean
an
she's a
extra
well written.
hard-ass, Yeah.
Yeah, she's a really well written one, but like, yeah.
Muscle Mommy.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's another good one. Also on Crunchyroll too.
Which was within the past 2 years, if
I think it
anything.
was
Probably
last year. Yeah.
It was short. I think it was 12 episodes.
12 episodes. I don't know if they've announced a new season or not.
I would say, on average, a lot of the season ones tend to be like just 12 episodes.
Yeah, it's like the seasonal schedule.
Yeah, I would say most of my one shots that I've mentioned, like in the past 2 episodes or so, have been like, one season, 12 episodes.
Yeah. For ones that aren't, I don't know, I think you guys are mostly tapped out for your lists. I can end with these.
Unlike these two, I actually like sports anime, so I watch a lot of sports anime. I know you guys don't watch them, but I do.
So
watch
fucking
Blue
boring
Lock?
most of the
I
time.
watch Haikyuu, Blue Lock, Ace of Diamond, pretty much anything that came out.
The two I wanted to mention, I think, like kind of together because they're both remakes. So Fruits Basket remake was really good.
Hmm.
I have not watched that one. I kind of like just watch the first original.
Chill the
So-
miso soup.
The so the remake is a whole lot better than the original because it's like less of a rom-com and more of a drama, and it adapts the manga faithfully.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things I didn't like about the original.
Yeah, it's so good. So basically, if anyone hasn't heard of Fruits Basket, basically it's this girl that gets involved with these guys who are part of this family, the Soma family, where they are cursed to bear like Chinese zodiac children. So if they like come into contact with the opposite sex, they will turn into that animal. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with it that's like plot related that I won't say. So it kind of starts out as a school life rom-com with that weird little supernatural bit thrown in, but very quickly becomes a drama about like abuse and trauma and a whole lot of other things. So it's actually a really, really good show.
I would say the manga's really, really good.
Yeah, the remake is awesome. It adapts it faithfully. It's like 64 episodes long, and it's so good. Toru is a great protagonist. She's like lovable cinnamon roll. And then she has her like delinquent friend who's my favorite, tall blonde, tough girl,
Damimon.
Uo-chan. But yeah, it's a really great remake. Started the kind of shoujo renaissance, I think, that's kind of happening right now because we're getting more adaptations.
Yep.
And more remakes just in general, which is good because some shows really need it. One that didn't really need it but is going pretty well is Bison Wolf.
Okay.
I think it's actually Studio Passion that's doing it, which is like, if you know them, they did Interspecies Reviewers.
Okay, so we're expecting quality work here.
But I mean, it's not like heavy on fan service. You see like Holo naked when she first shows up because like she's
Got my attention.
she's a wolf goddess who doesn't wear clothes. So when she first turns into a human, she doesn't have any. That's why she's naked.
Yeah.
But it's like if you've seen the original, It's very similar, but not the exact same. They're staying closer to the novel so they can do a full adaptation, which is going to be really good. And there are a couple details that were changed for the original show that they kind of put back so they can do the story later. Because there were a couple like minor details that turned out to be major details in the story. And the animation is much, much better. Like there's this one scene in the original where like Lawrence is riding a horse and it's like the derpiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. So it looks a lot better. They got the same voice actors back, I think. They did for the English dub. I'm pretty sure they did for the Japanese. But like really solid story. I mentioned Bookworm last week. This is kind of in a similar vein where Lawrence is a merchant and you learn a lot about like economics and other stuff in a medieval fantasy world, but they still apply the same like concepts that we would have in a mercantile economy. And Holo is Holo, and she's great, and she is one of the like top tier waifus in anime.
The wolf girl, the furry.
See, it's like as far as like furry goes, like she has ears and she has a tail, and that's it, and that's like as much as like you need to go, and nothing further. Unlike somebody who likes their waifus to be all furry, like Parrot.
Parrot was a good character, and she should have been a Straw Hat. I said it.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, but like, she's still furry all over, my dude.
So is Yamato when she's in her beast form.
Yeah, but only when she's in her beast form. The rest of the time, she is an Onidami mommy. All right. So yeah, signing off. If you want to know what happened in the dead space, you're gonna have to subscribe and see. And if we're fucking up and don't know it, feel free to tell us in the comments.
True.
Yeah. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Please. We're poor and hungry.
I can't afford my waifu figures.
I know. I'm so broke.
We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yep. See ya.